Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our daily stock market insights. And I am now recording part two of our daily rigor. Okay, so thank you guys. And to those who have requested um, in our previous video, I have all of them right now. I have, I think, a total of 37 um, based on your request today. Okay, check this out. So earlier today we have already recorded part one, and you'll see that on the description. A link to that video will be placed there after I upload this. And this one is for part two, and these are all the stocks we are going to cover today. So just a quick invite: if this is your first time to watch our video, I am inviting you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that each time we have new videos, by the way, I'm doing this every day, um, you will be notified. Okay, and don't be shy. You can also hit the like if you like the video. Okay, so let us start. I, by the way, made an attempt to record this using a live stream, but I had a technical issue, so I'm redoing it. Okay, so let me just put it here. Let's start with PPC. Okay, PPC over here, it's not a very popular stock, but our friend requested that we review the stock, and also he has a question: why is it that in today's performance the market dipped, and today as well is the X date, June 9th. So if you're not very familiar with how the dividend play works, normally people will start accumulating volume as we go near the X date, and then they would exit during the X date, because they know that even at the first minute of the X date, they are already included for the dividend release on the 6th of July in this example. So that is the reason why a stock would decline during the X date. Now, if you're wondering if those people entering on the 9th will still be included, no. So that simply explains X date June 9. That means this day is excluded in this day is excluded, you're no longer be qualified to receive the dividend. So just that, very simple. Okay, so don't be surprised if during the X date a price would drop. Okay, so for this stock, I feel bearish because the only reason for that is because you have very few traders here. Only 11 trades, and that would mean around 4 or 5 people are trading this stock. So not ideal, even if your price is already hit, but because there are no buyers or sellers in that stock, then the chances of it being executed is really slim. So try to consider other stocks. Currently, it's sitting at the MA20 line, so that could act as a support, but I don't really feel confident that it will move faster because of low volume. Next is East West. East West is sitting at a possible resistance, so we're thinking it might revisit your MA20 line. Actually, it will probably revisit this area first. Yeah, wait for it here. Otherwise, it will drop right here. Okay, you're MA20, but you have a strong support in this level first. So 7.49 and then 7.03. So those are your possible areas of bounce. In the meantime, the sentiment for me here is it is on a possible decline. Meg. Meg is also showing a very bearish candlestick. We're sitting at a possible resistance here. Therefore, it is just going to rest, and it could possibly drop at your previous resistance, creating a brand new support at that level. This used to be a resistance right here. So it might revisit that and then bounce again. Overall, you have a good potential for this stock if you're talking about long-term investing. 2.99 is our support. DMC is for DMC. It is also showing a bearish candlestick, and I feel that it might revisit your MA20 line. Don't rush here because there's a possibility that you can get this at a cheaper price. Overall, again, very cheap for long-term investors. They just got hit in the first quarter. See that 68.8% decline in revenue. So just accumulate your volume. If you really are interested in DMC, wait for that perfect timing because I feel you can get it at a cheaper price. GTCAP. GTCAP over here as well is, so in my first try today, I already saw this. So look at this. This is currently sitting at a possible resistance. This is your MA20 line. I'm using a Bollinger Band as my indicator, and I did not tinker with the settings. I just used the default settings here. So the blue line represents the MA20, and it is currently acting as a resistance, your ceiling. So there's a possibility that so this is worth 1 week. So the week is not over yet, so we don't really know if at one point it can break that, but let's just plot it there. Otherwise, it might stop here at the 398 level. Let me just go back to the daily chart. It might go back here first. Yeah. Let's use this first because there used to be a resistance here. 458. That's the next possible area of bounce before it goes higher. Then if it breaks, then that's the time we go MA20. You have your support here, previous resistance, so around 404.96. That's a possible area of bounce. Two areas to watch out for. June 19, June 2nd. So X date was June 2nd. Next would be MWIDE. MWIDE now is currently showing us a bearish candlestick. You're sitting at a resistance. So I will not be surprised if tomorrow is going to be a bearish day for MWIDE. You're also sitting at an overbought level, meaning it's starting to become expensive. And in the short term, okay. But right now, still, you're in the long term perspective because I know there are a lot of investors also watching our video. This is still a healthy level. But if you want to maximize your possible gain here, wait for the stock to rest. Okay. I don't want to use the decline because sometimes they really have a negative connotation there. But it's just normal for a stock to retrace or rest because people are just taking profit. Overall, I feel that it could possibly drop here, 6.73, before it goes higher again. Okay. You're very near the bottom. If you would like to haggle at 6.73, that's already a good meeting halfway. I don't think that it will go as low as 4.7 again because the market is overall starting to become bullish because there are so many establishments that are opening up and resuming their operation. So that's a good sign. MBT. MBT is showing us some signs of weakness here. Third day in a row, sitting at a resistance. You're also here at the overbought level while we were moving on the same area or at the same area, which is the resistance. Your momentum is starting to decline here. So it might drop to this level, 38 level. Okay, used to be a resistance here around that area first. Okay, 38.58. EEI also sitting at a possible resistance in the short term. So that's your resistance. Let's catch it at your MA20 level, which is 5.01 or 5 peso level. So that's October. Okay, so just wait for the perfect timing. You're still at a healthy level again, same as the others. But overall, I feel that tomorrow could be another red candlestick for this. Nickel. As for nickel, okay, this is a bearish candlestick again. It might drop to at the 1.82 level. There you go, or 1.83. We're still outside. Okay, we're outside of the Bollinger Band. There's still volume. Okay, good volume here, but my only worry here is that we're already at the overbought. So I'm thinking it might retrace. Probably if it will not reach the previous resistance, which will act as a support halfway 1.83 and 2.09. I think for me it's already an okay price to enter at and wait for a few more days before it rallies again to the upside. FNI. Ooh, FNI broke the resistance here. So it's possible that it might, people might take profit tomorrow, but I feel that if it retraces again, I feel that it will just create a brand new support here. Because that's normally how it goes. When we break out of the resistance, it goes a little higher, or sometimes the next day people will take profit and re-establish a support in the previous resistance. Okay, so 0.94 for me is the nearest support. So if you want to catch it there, you're still at a good and healthy level. I like the volume here. It's just that, there you go, overbought. But this one overall, um, this is just one of the few overbought levels that I still recommend because I like the fact that it broke out of that resistance here. So it's a breakout play. Just use, by the way, if you want to play a momentum, or if you want to do momentum play or breakout play, make sure you're able to watch the market full time because movements there are very fast. So use a faster time frame. If you use the same set of indicators, same methodology applies. So if I'm using Bollinger Band, if I use a 10-minute chart, 15-minute chart, I follow the same concept. Pizza. Pizza is sitting at a resistance, as you can see here. Used to be a resistance. So if I plot a horizontal line over there, 6.92 is the resistance. Therefore, if it drops again, 6.15 is our support. And I bet you know why. It used to be a resistance here. This is an MA20 line. Okay, 6.17. If you'll see some minimal difference in the price that I mentioned, always know that a support or a resistance is an area. So a slight overshoot to the upside or below that would still be fine because it's an area. Next after pizza is SMC. Oh, I like this. Okay, guys. SMC, strongly recommended. Even though if it's an overbought, check out the long stretch of consolidation here. So it was doing sideways, very constricted Bollinger Band, and it's starting to open up. At the same time, the width of your Bollinger Band is not that huge yet. So people might take profit and catching it at around 103 to 104. I mean 103.73 to 104. That should already be an okay price. Look at that. And this is San Miguel, you guys. So nothing to worry. Volume is so high here. So I really hope it doesn't do gap up tomorrow, but there is a big possibility that it will. So anywhere from 108 to 103.73 is already a good price to enter. AC, AC, okay, also sitting at a possible resistance. There you have it. The reason why we said that is we see this resistance here as well for 4 days straight, and you're also at the overbought level. Here, overbought. There you have it. So we might see some weakness in the coming days, and let's see, first stop would be here. First possible area of bounce, we see this support, previous resistance. When it drops, it might create a support at that level. Okay, this is already stretched. If if I'm going to use um, an Elliott wave, this is already what I know. In an Elliott wave, this is the one. If I do this one, I'm not very expert at that, but I know they do this. First wave, it retraces. Another wave here, it retraces. Another wave. So normally it would drop already at this point. You only have up to 5 points. So this is already stretched. That means it's already too expensive at this point. So I will not be surprised if it will decline by tomorrow. Okay, this too has to rest. So our next area of bounce will be 705. So that's just another concept that I'm name dropping here, but go ahead and try to research more about Elliott wave. That's also another powerful indicator, but still studying that. I'm not very expert at that yet. Cebu Pacific. Okay, weakness. It's a red candlestick. We're sitting at a resistance. This used to be a resistance validated by today's candlestick. Therefore, if it drops, it could reach this area first, 44.50. Because I see this. There's one here as well, here as well. So that's the first area that it will challenge and possibly bounce at that level. If it does, I think that's already a good area to consider. The flights are starting to, there are flights now for Cebu Pacific, so operation is starting to build up. So that's a good chance. If it dips downwards, I think people will celebrate because the market has given them a chance. Tech, I think had a good run today. Oh no, not today. It was yesterday. Market is giving us a chance again. Look at that. 805 or 7.94. That's a good area to start accumulating again. Okay, look at that potential. Talking about long term. Okay, used to be a support here, and there's a MA20 there. 7.94 is an area of possible bounce. Tel I think is declining. Oh, but check that out. It's engulfing. So it ended, but the next day it managed to recover. So I feel that just in case people will take profit, this one is your next possible support here. Used to be a support right here. Used to be a resistance. So I like the formation here right now because it engulfed, meaning this is much higher than the previous day. So that's the meaning of an engulfing candlestick. It can encompass or like hug the entire body of the previous day. So that's a bullish candlestick. So if people will take profit, just try to haggle around 1172. But take note, guys, if you're just trading this, there's a support nearby. This is it. Okay, so if you're looking at, big potential right now, it's your risk to reward is not that ideal. You're still at the, very, very near that resistance area short term. Okay, next would be fruit. Fruit is resting as well. Next stop would be very near your MA20 line. This is already the second day that it validated the sign of weakness that we um, were able to spot here. 1.34 is an area of bounce. Just watch out for it. Okay. By the way, when I say that could be an area of bounce, do not enter yet unless you see a validation, probably a green candlestick that starts around 1.35 and it ends there. That's your validation. So probably I suggest um, could be tomorrow or the next day. Wait for that green to come out first. Now, oh, I don't like this. It might drop some more. 1.94 could be the next area to consider. It might create a support at that level. Used to be a resistance here, and we managed to break out of that. But today, it did not really sustain that long. So it might revisit your 1.95 again. You're still at the overbought level. See that? Still expensive for the market. So watch out for it at 1.95. VLL. VLL also in the short term, it's sitting at a resistance. Check this out. This used to be a resistance also in several days over here. Price revisited that. So also a third day straight. Each time price hits that level, there's a sign of weakness. So most likely it will go back to 3.80. There you go. See, that used to be a resistance here. And several occasions here when price hits this area, there was a bounce. But when price broke that support, then it acted as a resistance. So now what we again went above that, it will just reestablish and create a brand new support at your previous resistance and probably do that. Okay. Next, MRSGI. Nice. This could be a bounce there. I mean, a what I meant was when we broke out of that MA20 line yesterday, that could still be a 50-50. But now that we have one more candlestick um, moving above the MA20 line, that's a good validation that we are going to start moving some more to the upside. But just in case market gives you a chance between 175 to 165, that's a good entry price. There. Okay, see the potential. When I say there's a potential, that means I'm addressing that statement to long-term investors because we don't really know how long it takes for the price to go back to its previous peak. Oh no, did I skip? Let me go back to VLL. Done with VLL, Bloom. Okay, I'm not done with Bloom yet. So I have to transfer this here. So now we'll talk about Bloom. Wow, this is so stretched already. Guys, this is a FOMO level, okay? I don't really feel confident recommending this because you are very near a resistance. This is the nearest resistance that I see. The reason for that is this used to be your support, and it has been what, 2 weeks straight of continuous climb here. Okay. See the this is the thing that I was mentioning before, and if you've watched several of my videos, I would always say this: if the Bollinger Band is too constricted, when you say constricted, look at this; it's very thin. it's like an artery, right? If you put a, not an artery, or yeah, like an artery, that's the first thing that comes into my mind. Like if you, let's say, put a rubber band, at one point it will just erupt, and this is what's happening. The pressure is starting to really push the price higher, and so the movement is significant. Okay, so that is what's happening right here. Same is true with this one, right? Constricted Bollinger Band, we started triggering the lower Bollinger Band, then you have a significant change in price. And that's what's happening right now. However, there's a nearby resistance and you're at the overbought, so people are starting to consider this as an expensive stock in the short term. Okay, right. Just take note of that. So if you want, just wait for it to retrace. Okay, wait for it to retrace. I feel that if it's really overall, it is really bullish. If it will retrace, it will just retrace by a few cents. And I see it right here. If it will retrace, first area of support would be 735 because I see this. Next is green. Green, I think, is a bounce. Look at that. It has been consolidating in this area when it rested. I think it's just establishing a brand new support at that level. So I feel bullish and it might go back and create a brand new wave there. Okay, 1.59 is the nearest support that we see. VITA. As for VITA, yeah, another breakout play here, guys. So promising start. I think that there are still a lot of opportunities here. Just plot the support at 0.88 because just in case people will take profit, you can still get in. Okay, but overall, I feel that it will still continue to move higher. PCOR, PCOR is about to retrace. This is a sign of weakness, guys. So if it drops, first area of bounce is here. 3.22. Do you see this? This used to be resistance. So it might revisit that. If it breaks, then of course next drop would be MA20 line. We all know that if we're moving higher and there's an MA20, then MA20 could be a next area of bounce. Some people would use a combination of different moving averages. So they start with 20, 50, 100, or even 200. So if 20 is higher, MA20 is higher than MA50, and MA50 is higher than MA100, and 100 is higher than MA200, in that proper order, that means the stock is in an uptrend. Ion. Nice, we're now above the MA20 line, so I think it will just create, if it's not, if volume is not that, well, but there's a, a little spike in the volume there, starting to build up. So 1.15 is a good area to try it out. But again, I have not really studied this stock. So do your assignment, study the background, the financial background, the business model of the stock, and see how it is performing in terms of its financials. And if you have strong conviction on the health of their financials, the next step that you will do is look at the technical analysis. And what we are doing right now will address technical analysis. So strike a, add that in your analysis, fundamentals, and then technical analysis, then you have a good conviction. It will create a good conviction that you're entering at the right stock at the right time. Okay, so 1.15 is our support right now. MAH, I think this one is also good. We officially went beyond MA20 line. So I think this is a good one, 11.6% increase. So I will not be surprised if people will take profit. So just catch it anywhere between that price and MA20 line. So that's already a good entry price. So I feel that, well, this is your resistance right here, okay? For a long, this is already going to be first, second, third. If it breaks out of the 2.89 level, then we have a brand new wave for this stock. And then the next possible resistance is high up there. It's interesting. um, just find out. I have not checked the profile of this stock. Is this related to? I'm not sure because there's an alcohol outside of. We bought an alcohol and it said their manufacturer is MAH. I'm not sure if that's the same company. So let me see here. It's not opening. MAH. Current 3 months 71. Their revenue is increasing. Interesting. So if you know anything about this company, guys, feel free to drop a comment so that we can also learn from you. So if it's related to health or health and sanitation business model there, I think this is going to be a good company in this period. I will not be surprised if the revenue has gained at this time. Retained earnings negative. Oh, they have liability. Liability is huge. Okay, so that's your assignment. So far, 2.56 is the support that I see, and then just be extra careful when the price level hits around 2.89 because there's a strong resistance there. It's hard to probably break that. We need a good volume to break that. VUL. VUL, your nearest resistance is 0.74. Or 0.74. There you have it. So if in case market gives you a chance at 0.65, that's a good area to catch it. Okay, look at that. Wow. Still at a very cheap level. But just, don't rush. 0.64 would be a good entry. Euro. And this is the last stock. And yeah, there's also a resistance nearby. And let's use this 2.43 as your, or 2.39 as your support here, resistance here. So but tomorrow I feel that there will be another red candlestick to challenge your 2.39 level, creating a support in that area. Okay, and that is it, you guys. Just to let you know, we have reviewed part 1, and I'll put the link at the description so you can also check that out. And these were the stocks we reviewed. At the same time, this is part 2, and these all came from your request. So same drill tomorrow. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know which stock you'd like me to review. And of course, I go through them one by one and list them down. So far, I'm so happy, and thank you guys for your non-stop support. I know we're in this together. We're learning from one another, and if you want to subscribe, I'm inviting you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so each time we have new videos, you're always updated. And if you like our session today, don't be shy, hit the like. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.